What's up, guys? Mish here from Mad Gamers. Today I'm starting my own little series. If you guys hadn't guessed already, I sort of have a bit of a hard on for WoW. Not quite as bad as Blitz, but you know, it's quite up there. So I'm doing my own little series on what my guild mates and all my mates that play WoW really love about it, and what keeps them coming back to it. I mean, it's been around since 2004, so it's basically the granddaddy of all MMOs. And today we have the one and only Mr. Player Spotlight of Apotheosis Gaming, Best Shadow Priest OCE, Arth. What's up, Arth?
Man, thanks.
Well, you told me to mention it, so.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Arth was my guildmaster on Mal'Ganis when we were raiding Horde there. Everyone figured he was shit, so now he's not the guildmaster anymore, and we changed realms. But he's our disc priest, so he takes care of all of us when we're raiding, make sure we're all healthy. So Arth, World of Warcraft. How long have you been playing?
I started playing. I started on November 24th, 2004, and I started playing late February of 2005, and I've never stopped, really, which is kind of sad. But I had one break, and that's when I did my Europe trip. But ever since, it's just like so addictive that I can't stop playing it.
Yeah, gotcha. So what sort of keeps you entertained in WoW? Because a lot of people I know they'll play for a few months and just sort of get sick of all the content and everything like that. What keeps you coming back?
Definitely the community, mainly the community that I associate myself with.
Oh, thanks, man.
I guess also new expansions also come out, but they kind of come out when the dry stages of WoW are happening, and you find new interest in the game because of the way they change things. For example, like leading up until Cataclysm, it was just all about rotation unless you played something like an enhanced shaman, where it was priority. So a change like that for DPS classes was pretty interesting. It was hard to adapt to at first, but yeah, mainly the community. Like I still play with the same guys that I was playing with in BC, and I've known them for about 6 years now.
Yeah, so I can't do that anymore. All of my mates have quit, or they've stopped wanting to play properly. They just want to play for transmog or whatever.
Yeah, they lose that sort
little
of
homos. So yeah, we're in Ulduar. You want to go? Why are we in Ulduar?
We're in Ulduar because it's actually been my favourite raid from this expansion. From the game. I beg your pardon. Ulduar is one of a kind in the way that it's just amazing graphic-wise. Like it just owns. Its boss fights were pretty fucking cool as well, I must admit.
And it's fucking huge.
Mimron was just like so different to what everyone was used to. And it was also the first raid where you do what we're doing now, where you use a
vehicle combat, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's basically what Wrath sort of pinned itself on the way. Like they had like Winter Grasp. That was the first lot of vehicle combat, and I've read notes on it and stuff like that. They were toying around with the idea of having like aerial combat in Winter Grasp and stuff like that.
Yeah. I remember they were also talking about like making BGs that had aerial combat where you needed a flying mount to actually compete in that BG.
So I mean, I would have been
screwed
screwed in Wrath because I was broke as shit.
Yeah, I know. Don't even get me started. But I had to get people to buy me my first flying mount.
Yeah, man, I did the same
my
thing.
first epic flying mount. But another thing about Ulduar that I like so much, I succeeded in it really well. But probably the main thing for me was I never really played this game at a serious level until late Max Ramus, so first patch of Wrath, because I was never a good player. Like in vanilla and BC, I was still like a young kid. and we'd click buttons and all that sort of stuff.
Just go for the shiniest spells you can.
Yeah, pretty much. Just feel like, oh, this is going to do the most damage. Fuck the rotation. And then you rage start, or you're out of mana or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I joined this guild, which is probably one of the best guilds I've ever been in, and this hunter just sort of took me under his wing and taught me how to play, and all of a sudden I was beating him, and I was one of the top ranked hunters on Oceanic. So like coming into Ulduar and being so successful, and just being this raid that is just like, so different and has all these amazing boss fights. It was just like, yeah, no, there'll never be another Ulduar for me, pretty much.
So, and you played Shadow Priest, or Disc Priest all the way through?
No, I mean, I started playing Priest in Ulduar, definitely.
Yeah.
But I was mainly
what? That's not fair.
What's that?
This guy.
The big guy. So I actually started playing Priest probably when like TSC came out, like trying to get into groups and all that sort of jazz. So yeah, so this is another fight that was just like so cool mechanically. Like, yeah, you kill ads, which is pretty boring, but then you drag the guy down with harpoons.
Yeah, and that because I remember doing this as progression as well.
Yeah.
The whole like the panic to just try and do as much damage as you could while she was down.
Yeah, exactly. Like pop blast kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was a DPS race.
Pop your best trinket.
Yeah, quick. Like, Ulduar is so unique in its raids. Like, that being said, when I said I wasn't very good leading up until this point, I was very experienced though, like, in vanilla. I never made it into Max Ramus, admittedly, but I got up to Hooveron in an AP40, which was our third last boss. I know you could sort of pick and choose, but we could just never beat that because the DPS is probably pretty me because I was fucking quicker. But then again, everyone was. Like, I was watching a video the other day of a server first kill of, what was the last guy's name? Stun. And it was a hunter POV, and this guy's still clicking, and he's feign deathing in combat to drink and stuff. It's just like, oh, this is so awesome. I miss all this.
Yeah.
The 40-man vents that are just like
just pure chaos. Wait, what?
Yeah,
it's fucking
exactly.
10 man. That's why we only need 2. Duh.
So
So obviously now we don't have a problem with doing the damage, but
no, not at all. Back in Wrath, it was really easy to learn how to play the class. Like, as an MM hunter, all I had to do was bind silencing shot into Chimera shot, I think it was, or aim shot, because they were on a 20. Silencing shot was on a 20-second cooldown, and I think it was Chimera shot was on a 10-second cooldown. So it was always up, when you needed it. And then it would just be the other spell in between, multi-shot if it was multi-targets, arcane shot otherwise. You would occasionally find the absolute freak at the game. Like, I remember you do like Wintergrasp and there'd be someone that would be a bit more geared, but not insanely geared from a really top-end guild, and, would pull like 7.2k DPS and you're like flat out pulling 4.5, and it's like, he's not even that much more geared than me, how is he doing it? These days, because of that priority rotation that was introduced in Kata, it's kind of hard to, separate yourself. Which I think is a good move by Blizzard because it allows a wider group of people to become a much better raider. They can focus on mechanics, and that being said, so could Blizzard when it came to developing mechanics. Like, I've never ever faced a harder boss than Heroic Siegecrafter, and it's because of the fact that Blizzard have made the playstyle of classes a lot easier. They've allowed to, delve into making bosses harder, which, is they've kind of shot themselves in the foot though, because, the time that Blizzard had the most subs for World of Warcraft was in Wrath, and it was 12 million, because the game was easy. you know, they did a great job of just making this game super easy and user friendly. So anyone could, you know, become a decent player, not an excellent player, but a decent player, and get into groups. You know, get gear quicker as well. Well, they had a pretty ridiculous build system. Like all you had to do was just do dungeons, and you know, you were ready to, you were like
ready to raid basically
yeah,
straight out
exactly.
of that.
Yeah.
Even now, I mean, you got to work super hard once you're heroic gear.
It's ridiculous. Like, you know, gearing up an ult, the only reason why I'm doing it is because of the fact that a legendary cloak is pretty important next X pack. And, you know, since we're a lot more serious as a guild these days, we want to have 2 or 3 other characters to sort of refer back. You can have that one that looks the exact same. To refer back to in case our classes aren't the strongest.
Yeah.
But from the looks of things, playing a priest is the way to go. Like Shadow Priests seem like they're a very strong DPS, and Holy Priests are just owning the meters. So I'm pretty happy about that. I like to go into heroic raiding for the fact that, you know, it's the hardest thing that's out, and you're killing it.
Yeah.
So you don't want it to be super easy just after the first time you've done it.
No
this
way.
place did have the most epic doors, though. You're right. There's the other one, like leading up to Bezax.
I remember doing this fight for the first time and just being like thinking I couldn't enter the room yet because I could see through the floor.
Yeah, I actually did this fight as a Shadow Priest because of Big Bang, and Shadow Priest was so strong because it did like 50k HP or something like that, and dispersion was just like 90% of the soak. So, yeah, you only took 5k damage.
They've Blizzard tried to redo this fight in MSV with Elegon.
Yeah, well, kind of same thing. And then even with TOT, with the whole unlock boss, I love that they added that. Same with Bot in Cataclysm with Sinestro. Sinestro was one of the hardest fights. Even this guy was considered, some people would say he's harder than normal mode Lich King. Like, I actually didn't raid too hardcore in Cata. That was probably when I tried to experience PvP quite a bit more. But well, I don't know, like Cata was a really random sort of experience for me. I guess it was totally different to every other expansion that I played in. Like it was more just wanting to be around friends. I think it was probably the hardest expansion for me to stay interested in. Like I went from playing pretty hardcore in Wrath to just wanting to be around friends.
So what was your favorite fight in this entire raid?
Definitely have to be Nimrod.
Yeah? Like on hard mode or?
Yeah, I guess so.
You got told not to push the big red button and you were like, no, Arth push.
Like, what does this do? And his first time we just one-shot it anyway. No. That fight
alright, mate.
Like, look, you know what? I feel like that fight was definitely harder on 25 man because doing it on 10 man, it was such a pushover. That's a melee and stuff. And I roll against you for it. I'm sorry.
Mother Parker.
Don't
even want those. Actually, that's a sick cloak. Okay.
Because on the Nimrod 10 man, I felt like the enraged time, it wasn't too much of an issue, to be honest. Like, not to sound cocky, we had really good DPS in that. We had a really strong group, to be honest. But you know, people would tunnel vision too much because it was a rotation back then, and would fuck up with mechanics. Really frustrating. I would never fuck up with mechanics.
I always fuck up with mechanics.
One fight that was definitely hard in here was the Zero Light.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, so there were people that on the server that I was playing on, which was Spinebreaker, and I mean, they made it look easy on 25 man, but come 10 man, I was like, oh my god, just kill me now, please.
Funnily enough, though, the first achievement for the meta I ever got in here on 25 man was 0 light. It's the first one I ever got.
Really?
Yeah.
Beast. You're beast, mate.
What was with the whole transfer to Alliance thing? Because no one's really talked me through why we transferred. Like,
Okay, so
I know it was for a recruitment thing, but why transfer to Frostmourne Alliance?
well, Frostmourne Alliance has the largest population for, I guess, Oceanic players at the moment, with 140,000 or close to 150. I think it's like 147,000. Which would just help us expand our pool a bit more for recruitment. And also the other thing was that the success rate was actually pretty high. We like you said, we're on Horde Mal'Ganis, which is probably the most competitive server in the US. And like, it obviously doesn't have the best guilds in the world, but they have Vigil, which are a very good guild. They came 19th in the West for the heroic Garish kill.
Yeah.
Which is really amazing.
It's pretty good, yeah.
But it's just the depth that it has on that server. Like, there was quite a few people around the 30s and all of that stuff. So the reason why we had to move to Frostmourne was because Mal'Ganis was 12 hours on the other side of the clock. So it's kind of hard to find people to get up and raid at 7:30 o'clock and
7:30 o'clock.
7:30.
Good England, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 7:30 o'clock.
So we just had to make the decision, just go through with it, because there's people that we also have an interest with merging for WoD.
Oh, so you still haven't made a decision about that yet?
Oh, well, look, the way it is that we want to get our own heroic Garish kills as a 10-man before we join up.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that come into play, like certain ways that we'd like to do boss fights. For example, we've brought that up, and they'll do Dark Shamans in a completely different strat. Same with Iron Juggernaut.
Oh yeah, so it's not worth trying to learn new strats now.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like, look, you don't ever really want to differ from what you do, because heroic fights, once you get them, can be easy because they're repetitive. But as soon as you switch it up, it's like a new mechanic, or dealing with a new mechanic.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's just backtracking, and we don't really want to waste any more time backtracking.
So yeah, this is basically going to be what my series is. Just having a little chat to my buddies, figuring out what they like about WoW. So I'll probably end up doing some PvP and stuff like that. But it's just going to be a bit of fun. So yeah, thank you, Arth.
That's right.
Much appreciated.
Is there anything else you need to know, like people I've played with, or anything like that, or like guilds?
Well, we can save that for another day, I think.
Yeah, sweet.
No doubt you'll be in more videos, being the top bloke that you are.
Spotlight.
Alright, man. No, thanks for that. Yeah, if you stay in that player spotlight, you'll be in every video.
I thought it changes it each week.
Yeah, it does, but it didn't change for a year when I was player spotlight.
Oh! Yeah, you got a lot of stuff to say then.
Mate, I can't even do a video. There's not enough space. Sweet as, man. Cheers for that.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah. See ya!